Paying off your car loan early might be a bad financial decision. Let me tell you why. Hey, I'm Katherine, founder of Imperfect Budget, and I help women reject outdated one-size-fits-all money advice and make choices for their money that actually fit their own unique lives. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through why it actually doesn't make financial sense for me to pay off my car loan early, and it might not for you either. In November of 2021, I took out a $26,000 car loan with a 75-month term and a 4.09% interest rate. So over the course of this loan, I'm going to pay about $3,500 in interest. Today, I'm a little over halfway through the loan term, but I've already paid 70% of the interest. What? How does this happen? This is because the interest on my loan is compounding, not simple. With simple interest, you receive a fixed interest rate that is charged to the initial principal value of the loan. So using my car as an example, the principal amount was $26,000 multiplied by the 4.09% interest. So I would pay $1,063.40 in interest divided by the term of 75 months, or $14.17 of interest per month for the whole loan. Sounds too good to be true, right? That's because it is. Consumer loans like cars and credit cards use compounding interest, which means the interest charged is based on the current principal value, and it compounds daily. That's why it's so easy to rack up credit card debt, because the larger your balance, the more interest you pay, which increases your balance, which increases your interest. It's a vicious cycle. For my car loan, although my monthly payment stays the same, I paid more in interest towards the beginning of the term when I had a larger principal value. Now, a few years down the road, I've paid down the principal balance, so the interest decreases as well. You can see here from my statement in April 2022 that I was paying about $300 in principal and about $80 in interest. But in my most recent payment, I paid about $350 in principal and only $40 in interest. And this amount will continue to go down as I go further along in my loan and pay the principal down even more. Basically, my debt is becoming less expensive. So the way I see it, I have three options. First, I can use $12,000 from my emergency savings account and pay off the total loan tomorrow. I don't really like this option because it's not exactly an emergency that I pay off my car loan. An emergency fund is supposed to be for serious or life-threatening situations. Things like visits to the ER, surgery, a sudden job loss, or natural disasters. So I might want to get rid of the debt, but it's not putting me in serious danger to have it. Option two is for me to save $12,000 and then pay off the loan. If I put 100% of my savings towards this goal, I could probably do it in about a year. But I don't really like this option either because it means prioritizing paying off my car over all of my other savings goals. For the past few years, I've been focusing on growing my emergency fund, building my investments, and traveling. 2 years ago, I used my emergency fund to pay for hip surgery. 8 months later, my husband used the emergency fund to pay for shoulder surgery. Yes, I know we're a mess. But without that emergency fund, we would have had to take on medical debt in order to pay for those surgeries. I've also taken some incredible trips over the past few years, and the adventures that I had and the memories that I made are far more valuable to me than paying a little extra interest on my car. I've also been focusing on saving for retirement. Since I'm young and don't have children, I want to focus on putting away as much money as I can right now for retirement so it has decades to grow. Over the past 3 years, I've built a portfolio from $0 to $50,000, and that is going to serve me long after my car loan is paid off. Finally, paying off my car loan early doesn't actually save me that much money. Let me show you why. Over the course of the next 2.5 years, I'm going to pay down $12,000 in the principal on my car, plus about $700 in interest. Let's say I had $12,000 today, and I could pay off my car loan, or I could put that money into my high yield savings account, which as of June 2025 is making 3.6% interest. If I left that $12,000 sitting in my savings account for the next 2.5 years, here's how much I would make in interest. The first year, I would make $432 in interest. The second year, I would make $447 in interest. The third year, which is a half year, I would make $231 in interest. So by leaving that $12,000 sitting in my high yield savings account instead of paying off my car loan early, I'm actually making $1,110, which is more than I would be paying in interest on the car loan. Needless to say, I choose option 3. I'll just keep making my monthly payments until the car loan ends. Yes, I'll be paying about $700 in interest. And yes, $700 is a lot of money, but that money is more valuable to me in other areas of my life. So I'm gonna keep the cash available for other opportunities. Now, I didn't go through all of this to tell you that you shouldn't pay off your car loan early. In fact, my own husband paid off his car loan 2 years early. He had a high interest rate and he just didn't like the stress of monthly car payments hanging over his head. But that's what worked for him, not for me. I want you to understand that debt is not the demon that we make it out to be. You can have debt and still be financially responsible. And sometimes it actually makes financial sense to hang on to debt. It all depends on your situation, your life, and your priorities. If you liked this video, you may also like my other video, which you can find right here. See you next time.